Okay, another day, another chance, another day, another dance. So yeah, I'll be discussing to you all about chapter 17. So it's pretty much going over like the movie list components. So movie list components pretty much like the movie list. So it's pretty much like the components for everything that we like freaking dealing with. So it's React, like the React, the one that we went over before, our columns, links, movie data service. So it's pretty much what we started off with our front end. So the logistics for our front end was all the data and stuff like that for our front end, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So it's our APIs, event listeners for like use effects, constant variables. So it's pretty much our error handlings and our renderings. So yeah, that's what it pretty much is, and also our API calls too. And most of it's pretty much on like MoviesList.js. So that's pretty much what we're dealing with here. So yeah, I was out of that onto you, Ernest, for you to go
Okay.
over the overall code.
Okay. So chapter 17, in simple words, we're just gonna be filtering our movies so we can enable our search, our movies by title and then search by ratings. Okay. So in our movies list, I've already touched on it, where I declared where I set a constant of retrieve movies, where we use our use hook. Use effects in our from our hooks. So here, let me just go on the constant of movie list, and then do this constant of page setup movie setup movie is for our pigmentation in our previous chapter, and then how do we enable our search filters, or can I even we can even say query, because we use query to search. So we have a constant of search title. So where we say set search title to be empty, initially empty, to use a state of empty, to be empty, empty, to be a state initially, to be an initial state. And then we also have a constant of rating, which sets ratings. And then we do have, initially we have all ratings. And then, um, as you know, movie ratings are different. We have PGD, we have different all sorts of ratings, but initially we set it in our ratings, and then we already know the constant of this our variable of getting our movies. It takes this format to get our movies and then brings it back in a string method. If it doesn't do that, it brings back an error, and then we use our use effect in our movie database server to get ratings. Then we have a response. We have a response which will set our ratings. Initially, we have all ratings, and then it will add it to our response data concat, which is basically adding two strings. And then find we have a query. We have two parameters, query and by. And then we go into our movie database server. We use our query of search, and then we have a response, and then we have a concept of save movie. Actually, okay, we have a for save movies response. Then we'll have a response of the movie data, yeah, and then we map it out, and then we map it out in this format where we have a title and a plot in a string method, and then set movies who have save movie as an argument, and then we catch an error if add any, and then console log it. And then we have a constant also for search by title, which will have find, which search title and then and the string of title. So we already know the search title, which I just declared on top here. And then also we have a variable of find by ratings. We have an if statement here. Then we have that says search ratings equal to all ratings. If it's equal to all ratings, then we retrieve movies. So we retrieve all the movies from the database. Else, we find search ratings, and then we have a string of rated, which is the ratings which you have searched for. And then we have, and then we return, then we, so basically this is now for styling. What are we returning or what are we rendering back to our page? We're gonna return a search form. As you can see here in our search form, we'll be targeting, we'll have a value of our search title, which is basically the what you are searching for, and then you go on and target that value. And then we have a button here, a button on click, it goes on and search, and then we also have our rating form that takes in the rating you're searching for and go on and find it by one click. When you click search, it goes on and retrieve the movies rated in the particular rating you searched for. And yeah, basically that's movie listing, the movie list, and that's how we achieve our search query. If I go ahead and show us in our front end here, uh, let's just say star. So when I search, so as you can see, movies that start with star, so it's all star one, all star two. Then we have star, we have Empire of Dreams, and then the movie. I mean, the story of Star Wars Trinity trilogy. Yeah. As you can see, our search button is working. Let me just quickly do this. Um, you know, what can I say?
Debugging.
Debug it as well,
Yeah.
and let me.
As you can see here, sorry, Ernest, about that. As you can see, with all those X's, it means the debugger is trying to load some of the pages, but some of the pages didn't load because IMDb. What they do with old photos is they pretty much remove it from their website. So as you can see here, with all those X's, it was trying to reload everything, but with all the error handling on our movie list that was being done, it pretty much handled the error as a 4.4 error. So that means
Yeah.
it could not be found. So yeah,
Okay, thanks. Yeah, and I did mention that the last time I was debugging. Thanks again for adding that.
yeah,
And
just
then we
reminder.
search page. PG-13. And if I go ahead and search, so as you can see, these are all our movies rated by PG-13. And yeah, that's how we achieve our search by title and also search by ratings. And that's our chapter 17. Capital?
Yeah, Ernest,
Yeah, without further ado, just carry us to chapter 18,
no problem, man. I'll carry you guys over to chapter 18. I'll do that.
which is getting the. Okay, you know what? Let me just quickly introduce it so you can go through the code,
No
which
problem.
is our movie.js, getting a single movie. Okay, so let me quickly introduce it then. Our chapter 18, which works on, let's see, our movie component. So what can I say? Retrieve. What can I say? Okay, but that retrieve in one a single movie details. Like when we click view reviews, it shows the message, and then we will create movie component to show individual movie along its reviews. Okay, let's see. So what are we actually doing here? We're getting a single movie page, and then we create a detailed movie page in the root of movies. And then we get back in the movie slash ID, and then that's the page where we get like a singular movie page. And yeah, and Cabello will show us how we achieve this through the code.
Okay, all right. I'll do that now. I'll do that now. Okay. Right. So yeah, as you can see here, we've got movie components. Right. So in the components folder in movie.js. So yeah. So let's go over to it now. Okay. Come on, page. Okay. Okay. Now. So as you can see here, we're going to import React, use state, use effect. So yeah, so on and so forth. So these are pretty much, the imports for all of our components. So importing like movie data services movies. So that's pretty much our API. Our import link of React to route to DOM from React Bootstrap, so on and so forth. Then inline fallback image to prevent broken image display, and then const variable. Constant fallback image, so data image svg plus xml char set equals utf dash 8. So encode a URI component svg x. Okay, so that's pretty much like an info fallback image to prevent broken image display. So what I was supposed to have if it wasn't for like my Mongo URL, being denied access to my internet, what I was supposed to have was like a fallback image. So every time I came across like an old IMDb, every time I came across an old IDB, that photo that IMDb removed, it's pretty much gonna return like this variable fallback image. So that's what's gonna return. So data image svg plus xml char set equals utf dash 8. So svg. So that's pretty much what we did here. So yeah, it's gray hash 555 no image text text x equals 50%, y equals 50%, dominant baseline middle, text anchor middle, rect width, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Then yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing there. So yeah, so it's custom movies. What? Come on. So it's a custom movies. This is like a custom movie equals match reuser, so movie state. Always initialize erase objects to avoid undefined errors. You know what I mean? So custom movie, comma set movie equals use state. So yeah, ID null, title null, plot title, comments, plot comments, rated post reviews, square empty brackets. So movie state always initialize arrays objects to avoid undefined errors. Yeah. So this, and then also got a variable which fetches a movie from the backend and normalizes the response data. So this is pretty much the response data. The resolute content data equals that operand. So this is pretty much returning, and then this fetch the movie when the component mounts or matches the parameters for the ID change. So this CRUD functionality deletes a review, filters out the delete review from local state. Now then set movie catch. So this is a variable, then it's got a parameter, so it's review ID, then index. Then fallback from broken image URL, so const handle image error equals e, then e dot target dot one error, prevent infinite loop, then e dot target dot src fallback image. Then return container class name image src fluid on error equals handle image error, then movie details column card.header, card.body, card.text, card.text, so on and so forth. Right, then you got ratings, and then show ad if you link if users logged in, then list of reviews, show. So this is pretty much like CRUD functionality, show edit delete only for reviews by the current user, so on and so forth. Then yeah, so that's our movie list. I try to run the debugger, but gave me problems. So as you can see, these are problems that gave me. So yeah, good for that. So on to you, Ernest.
Um, okay. Well, I don't know what you want me to add. Except from that, um, in this movie J.js, what it's basically saying, it's saying get a movie, get a single movie page with its movie details and with its movie details and its review. Let me just show an example of that, even though we're not yet in that stage on our application. So this is our route. Remember where we had our movie, and then this is the movie ID. Okay, so this is a movie called The Great. You see, there's the details, there's his rating, and then here's my review, and then yeah, here's my review. Great movie, and basically this is the component Capito just went through. This page right here is
Right, no.
and Capito, you there with
Yeah,
me?
no, yeah, I'm there, man. I'm there.
Okay, and then for you can yeah, which is display.
No problem. No problem. I'm gonna go over to like 19. Yeah, it's okay. So, okay, come on. Yeah, it's just yeah, my thing, my page loading. It's just loading. Okay, so okay, I got it now. Okay, so page 19. So we're listing reviews on page 19. That's what you're pretty much doing. Let me just unshare. So listing reviews in page 19. So we'll be listing the reviews under the movie plot. So that's pretty much what you'll be doing. So yeah, on the movie plot, so on and so forth. So that's pretty much what we're doing. So we access the reviews array using a map for each review under a media component from React Bootstrap. So we're pretty much accessing, so there's a page, a specific page that we make use of for movie reviews, in which we get access to them. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what we're dealing with. So we just load a movie on our search engine, access it, and then we go to our reviews page. Then it's gonna list our reviews page.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what we're dealing with here. That's yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much the summary. So on to you, Ernest.
Okay. So what you're saying is okay. Basically, let me just show the front end of the root of reviews, movie reviews, right?
Right.
Right, coming.
Yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah.
So it's just coming back to the app
Yep.
and then go into slash movies
Yep.
slash reviews.
Yeah. Yeah, like we went over last time, like you specified. Yep. That's pretty much what we have. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, currently, right now, I don't have, what can I say? I don't have any reviews. Well, due to I'm not logged in. But then this is the page that shows our movie reviews. Currently, don't have any reviews yet. And then show review. Well, I currently don't have any reviews, like a list of reviews to show to display yet. So that's why I have this. Camilo?
Yeah, Ernest. Yeah, there's no problem, man. So yeah, it's fine. Right. So yeah,
Okay.
it's on to 20.
Yes, and that site works like before we include the login. Now that I've included, it wants me to log in before it shows like the reviews that was logged in by the user that is logged in.
Right. No
I don't know
problem.
if you understand.
I know. I understand. I understand that. Hundred
Okay.
percent. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that's yeah. Like you said, that's pretty much the login component. Yeah.
So now we only heading into the login component.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. I can. I don't know if this one is pretty straightforward. You want to introduce it? So I could just go straight to the code in chapter 20, the component, the login component.
No problem. Right. I'll do that now. Don't worry about it, man. I'll do that now. Okay. So login component. We won't be doing a full feature authentication system in this section, but it serves as a template for you to fill in your own full-fledged authentication implementation. So fill in login.js with the following code. So import, yeah, so it's pretty much, so the login is pretty much, const variable name, set ID, unchanged name, unchanged ID, login. so on and so forth. That's pretty much like what we're dealing with here. You know what I mean? So yeah. So what that does is it pretty much sets the initial name and ID to be empty strings. Our simple login form consists of a username and ID field. So the unchanged name but the unchanged ID methods, right, bind the field values to the name and ID state variables. They work in a similar fashion to the form we have earlier implemented in movies list, so I won't explain further. So that's pretty much what we're dealing with here. And then, from our log, so that's pretty much what we're dealing with. And then, yeah, so that's pretty much our login component. So obviously, Ernest is going to go over the whole code. So that's pretty much what we're dealing with. It's pretty much the code that we're going to be using. The variables, the buttons, the event listeners, targets, and the form, for our, our login. So once we press login, so some buttons we won't be able to access without the login button. So we log in, hash in the code, and then once we hash in the code, what happens is, right, once we logged in, we'll be able to edit and add a review. So add a review, edit it, then delete it. So that's what we'll be able to do. So yeah, onto you, Ernest.
As you can see on my page, I have my login.js. We import our React router Doom, import the Bootstrap. We want the format. We also want the button in the Bootstrap. Then we have a constant of login, and then it's a props, so it's fixed. So then we locally state we have a local state for our username and ID, which initially will be empty, and then we have our navigate, and then we use navigate, and then we have our handle. Then we have a variable of handle login, which validate input, which validate input, and then update our app user states, and then redirect us to home. So it's saying once you logged in, it will redirect us to home. So our handle login, we have an if statement that says um, if not name and not ID, then we return an alert of both user. Please enter both username and ID, and then we have a props.login, which is log in when it takes in our name and our ID. Then we have lift the user to, which lifts the user to, or which insets the user to our app.js. Then we navigate back to our home page, like I had mentioned. Then we have a return of how we want our login page to look like in terms of forms. So you can see here, we'll say we will take in username, and then and then we also have a placeholder which will say enter the user. Then we also have user ID, a placeholder of enter ID. This is simple. As you can see, there was no authentication, just local user tracking. And if I go ahead and display how we come about that, so we're just saying, what are we saying here? We're saying here in our login, I put in my name, my username that I want to use, and if I don't have an ID and say submit, it says please enter both username and ID. So I have to come back here and put an ID. So let's use this, and when I say submit, you can see it redirects me to our home page, and then now it's now tracking this user by, what can I say, storing in its this case, I might say session, by storing a session. So, and it's just a temporary one. Once we're done, it just forgets it. So it only tracks what our users are doing while we are on the app because there's no authentication. And yeah, basically does that. That is that, Cabello.
No problem. All right. So yeah, it's chapter 20. Right. So thank you, Ernest, for helping me go over chapter 20 with me.
Okay, we can cut the video. I
Yeah,
don't know how long that the video was.
it's fine, man.